What is up, guys? Alright, you may be wondering, what in the world are you doing with all this crap here? Well, probably not. If you read the description and the title of the video, you probably know exactly what we're doing. This is my most requested video besides showing how to do some airbrushing stuff. So I'm going to show you how to build not only a single tumbler turner, but a quad tumbler turner. Because like really, who only does one cup at a time? Come on, let's go. Alright, so to start, you're going to need, this is one sheet of MDF from Lowe's. It was like 12 bucks. You're going to cut your first piece 8 inches high by 33 inches long. Then, these holes are 1.5 inch drill bits. The first one, you're going to do 6 inches from this side, and each hole on center is 7 inches apart. So you can go like, you can do 100 if you want to. Just make them 7 inches apart. That gives you just enough room to put your epoxy on, whatnot. For the holes, you go down 2 inches to the center and you drill it in. But you want to clamp your front and back pieces together so your holes line up exactly. So, because you're going to mount your motor on the back. Your two side pieces are going to be 7 3/4 because you got to account for it sitting on the base, and then 6 inches wide. The base is the bottom. Of course, it's going to be 33 inches long by 6 inches wide. Alright, here's where you start putting these bad boys together. I got the front laid face down, and there's my bottom piece, and I just got a pack of these brackets that come with some screws. I'll try to get links to all this stuff to make it really simple for you guys to find all the hardware that you need. First, you're going to want to line them up and then draw you a line across the bottom so you know where to put your brackets, because this sits flush on the ground and this butts up against it. Really simple. And you draw your line across and mark your holes and drill these holes first. You don't have to worry about the bottom yet. You don't even have to mark those if you don't want to. Now you want to do the sides first, because once you get it put together, you're not going to be able to get to this. So these screws that came with the brackets are perfect. You just want to make sure that they're not going to be sticking out the back and poking you or hurting anybody. So you're going to want to do that for the front and the back. And I used 3. That should be enough. Now we're going to attach the front and back to the bottom. Screws help. Back done. Now for the front. Oh yeah, screws. Alright, we've got the front done and the back, the insides. So you're left with like a C-shaped box. Let's put the sides on. You're going to do the same thing as with the bracket, except for since this sits flush on the base here, you just put your thing there, draw your holes where you want it. Get it where you want it, you know, draw your holes in. Now you're going to put your sides on, and if it doesn't match up perfectly, who cares? It's not, I mean, it's for function. Who cares how it looks? You might, but that doesn't matter. Make sure it's flush in the front and back and on the bottom, and screw it down. Whoops. Now we gotta steady the top up a little bit, and we're going to use these angle brackets and just do all 4 corners. Might need some screws. I just put 1 on each side. You don't need to do both unless you're preparing for doomsday or something and you think it's going to be going like that. But otherwise, you should be fine. Congratulations, your box is done. You're ready to make tumblers. Wait, what? What do you mean? Oh, we got to make the little handle thingies. Good idea. Alright, for this I'm using 1/2 inch PVC and this little doohickey. Wow, noisy. Hey, don't do this. Don't do that. Or else you want to look like this. Then your epoxy will come out uneven. Use safety. So you cut this, and you might want to know, These are 15 inches each. Make you a bunch of them. I cut as many as I could out of that one pipe, because you can always use extras. And the reason I do 15 inches is because I like for it to go all the way through and attach to the thingy, which I'll show you how to do that in a few minutes. And I like to take it off and hold it way far away and be able to spray and not get my hands dirty. Now, this is a set of 4 motors from Amazon, and they come with these little things which you will need. A lot of people use these, the bigger sticks, rods, PVC, whatever, and these wooden dowel thingies and Gorilla Glue. But these slide out. The Gorilla Glue doesn't stay forever. It gets heated up by the motor, and the wood dowel splits, and every one that I have has come off. And look at that, that's loaded with glue, but it slides right out. So it doesn't stay on this thingy well enough for me. And I'm going to show you how to make sure this will never come off. And you're going to use these things. See, they fit right on. They come in the kit with these things. And I'll show you how to mount this with these guys. You'll need these. This is an inch adapter. So your PVC will compression fit right into there. And you hear that click? That's not going to fall off. If it does, you can put a piece of tape on it, but I have not had to do that. I've not had one of these slide off yet, but if you like to, you can install the male to female adapter, but I don't use that. I use this. And now we're going to attach this to this. If you notice, it fits in there perfectly. This guy go the other way. This is what you're going to end up with. This thing will never come off. There's a link to all this stuff in the description below, and I'll give you a description right here of what these are. They're long enough to go through the whole thing, and then bolts on the ends, so it will never come off until you take it off. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the opening spot, which goes around this part here, and if you notice, it's got a hole and this has a hole. So you're going to take it and drop it in the fat side down to here. You may be wondering, how do I ever figure out where to drill the hole in this thing? It matches up with this hole and this hole. Oh, it's simple. See this ledge right here? You just take your brass fitting and sit it right on that ledge right there. If you notice, it's pretty flush. You take your 1/8 drill bit and just start your hole. It's hard to do it looking through the camera. Alright, don't go all the way through yet. So when you have your one hole, you insert your doohickey and line it up with that hole and put it in. So make sure your hole in the brass fitting is going to line up with this one. Take it around here, and some of these will slide right in. I have half of them do and half of them don't, but if they don't, just use your ratchet adapter and just give it a little tap like this. Look at that cute little hammer. It's so tiny. Alright, I had to put it on the concrete floor to get it to, the table moves too much. Then you take where you've already drilled your hole, drill it through there, which is already in, and you use the other hole to guide you through the other side. So you're sure that it fits on here, straight. It took me forever to figure out how to get this straight, by the way. Watch your fingers. There. Perfectly straight. There we go. Get that out of here. Get out of there. What are you doing? Now you're ready to mount this on here. Line your holes up. See where your hole is. See, and slide it right on. Boom. And it stops perfectly because those brass fittings are made for this. Put in your bolt all the way through. Now you just put your little nut on and get your little wrench. Tighten it up tight as you can, and you can use red Loctite if you want to. Now this kit of 4 does come with all 4 of these as well, and 4 of these. But I just did all of mine into one. Use some red electrical tape or whatever color you want. I don't care what color it is. And one switch. That way if I turn them on, all 4 come on at the same time. You can do it individually if you want. You can put a fancy light switch if you want, but none of that matters. The idea of this is to center this in your hole. You shove your rod on just to give you some straightness measurement or whatever. And then back it up, Terry. Center it so that you have, if there is a little wobble, it's not going to hit against the sides or anything, because if you put it flat and it turns, then it's going to bind it and it's going to stress out the motor. These things get a little warm as it is. So find your center and then put your 2 little screws right here. That's all you need. It's got 4 holes, but what are you doing, doomsdaying? Let's just put 2. And it literally does not matter what kind of screw, as long as it fits here and doesn't go all the way through. Like big enough to catch the edge. And it doesn't really matter if it goes all the way through. It's better if it doesn't, because you're going to put your hand back here to take this off and, you know, out the front and hold your little thing and spray and blah blah blah. So now you've got all these on. You got them all wired together if you did it like I did. And we plugged it up. And we're going to turn it on, and we're going to look inside and make sure that nothing is binding inside. It shouldn't be. You should be right around the middle of all of it. See, it's not touching anywhere around. You just want to check that before you go any further, because then it's kind of pointless. So now we're going to address our handle. I got these 2 different size footballs from Family Dollar. They were $1 each, and the good thing is the hole's already made for you, so it's perfectly ready to go, and it fits on here perfectly. All you're gonna do with that is throw some Gorilla Glue in here. You just mist your hole with water, not too much water, and then squirt all around with the Gorilla Glue. Tape up one end of your pipe so that your Gorilla Glue doesn't go in there. And then you shove your rod in there and twist it around. And I just like to put a little bit of tape around here for good measure. Shove it in, put a cup on. Congratulations, you did it. Now I will say this, at nighttime when I leave for the night, I do like to put a little piece of tape around here just for peace of mind, so I sleep like a baby. You know, I don't want to have to worry about things. I'm playing with the idea of some ball bearings right here. This one doesn't fit. I'll update you on that as soon as I'm figuring stuff out, you know. And I'm working on a one-size-fits-all holder. This thing, tumbler holder, instead of using these things. And the foam pole noodles, they tend to get squished and they don't hold anymore, or they some of the stuff we use eats the foam up, so that's not good. So I'm working on that. One size fits all. I know it can be done. I just gotta figure it out, you know. If you have any suggestions, oh, I almost hit you there. If you have any suggestions, just drop them in the comments below. And if you make something, be sure to send me a direct message on Instagram or Facebook. I love seeing these things. If you put it on Instagram, I'll share it to my story. It's great stuff. And now that you have your tumbler maker, watch these videos right here and figure out how you make your tumblers. Cool designs, watch all my videos. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and goodbye.